Hi everyone, welcome on board to Helper.tv.
Now, what is really going on here? Now, this video that you're watching, I'm sure you must have seen it. It went viral, and the talk is this: APC is behind this. In fact, some people claim, allegedly, that this man was employed by APC to propagate this propaganda. Exactly as I said it, exactly how people are saying it. They said that this man's wife works for TVC, and they say, we know the game, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's TV station. This is what it is. They said this man is not in any way a Labour Party member, not in any way a Labour Party supporter. The claim is this: that this man, as he is, was employed, was paid to do this job. In fact, they said he has been doing this for APC, to spread lies, to spread falsehood. These are the claim, these are the allegations. And this man is not a Yoruba man. This man is a typical real Igbo man. This is the talk. This is what has been put out there for everyone to see. Now, the information that Labour Party is putting out there, Labour Party faithfuls, Labour Party supporters, is that they should disregard this video. Now, I know that opinions differ. There are people who are saying Obidients can never ever behave in such a ridiculous manner. They say obedience, unless you are not obedient. They said obedience starts for progress. Obedience starts for respecting the rules and regulation and laws. Obedience are not unruly. Obedience are not Agberos. And I like this. Let us be very, apart from party, it is time. I think we've come to that point whereby Nigerians now know that they were lawless before. They lived in a lawless society, and all they see around them is lawlessness. Yes, nepotism, monopoly. Just mention, in fact, what I often say is this: all of these are children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren of wickedness. Wickedness gives birth to corruption, gives birth to nepotism and all of this. So I am happy that people are now woke. People are now becoming conscious, realizing that there is supposed to be law and order. Just like what Peter Obi said, if you want to be called an honorable, you must behave as an honorable man or a woman. If you want to be called your excellency, your ways, your action must be excellent. That is just what it is. Well, you know that there is still more out there, and if you're just coming across this channel and you're not a member of it, why don't you join us? Tap on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell below. It will alert you whenever videos are dropped. If you're a returning subscriber or you've been here with us all the way, I say thank you for returning. Thank you for being here. Yes, but do something for others and also for this channel by liking and sharing this video. Now, let us be serious. The video that you are watching right there is still that same man. According to the report that we have on our hands, this man has been used several times. This is the second one. Look at him. They say this man is the actor that have been paid to carry out this job. The job of propaganda. The job of painting Labour Party, Peter Obi, the job of showing to the world, showing to others that Labour Party is a party of violent people, party of evil, wicked people. Look at it. Look at it. Or maybe I cannot see it very well. That is why I want you to use your own eyes, your inner eyes, to compare and contrast. Or maybe this is just a ruse. This is not really the man. But does it look like the man? If it does, drop your comment in the section below. Now. You're about to hear a voice note, and this voice note will shock you. This voice note is where, according to what we heard, allegedly, they were plotting and planning how to stage all of these things.
Let us, this time is no more time of being same. If they say Asawaju is a drug dealer, P2B is a drug dealer, P2B is whatever. Me, myself, Douglas, they're not going to bring and come near me. They won't. They're not born them well. They know born them well. It's goes for gas. If you tell me Shetima is Boko Haram, P2B is IPOP. Born. If you want cry, cry. If you want break your head, break your head. The time for being civil is gone. We have won the election. We have won the election. So when they bring that their nonsense, give it to them back. I was expecting the time of that election when they were pushing all sort of nonsense junks and this is what the one that they do with that what is his name, this Olumide Owori or something, you know. That was when I was like, oh, what's APC doing? I said it in our group. What's APC doing? Do push your propaganda. Get 3 people, beat one person, video it, or LP is beating APC guy. Stage up.
Now, did you hear that? Now, some might say, oh, this is just a stage up, cover up. They are trying to make it appear as if APC is behind all of this. But the talk right now is this. They said the guy has been called upon and he said, it is my job that I have done. This thing about politics, we all know it is a very dirty and murky water. We know that every party will be doing one thing or the other to debase, to diminish, to ridicule the other one. But let us be telling ourselves the truth. Okay. Without further ado, let us find out. Let us watch how Labour Party has decided to carry out or carry on defense or defending their mandate that they claimed was stolen.
Of the United to the European Union, to Nigeria and ECOWAS. Today, we mourn the demise of credibility, the rape of trust, the abuse of will. Today, we stand in the ruins of transparency, on the embalming table of inclusion, equity, and accountability. Today, we are voices stripped of the music of choice. Today, we are Nigerians, broken, calling on INEC to count our votes. On the 25th of February 2023, Nigerians trooped to their polling units with one mission, which is to cast their votes and choose their next leaders. They qualified for this exercise by participating in year-long continuous voter registration, which witnessed an unprecedented spike as has never been seen in any election since 1999. Months later, they returned to collect their permanent voters card and went home with a commitment to participate and engage with the process. The chain of apathy was broken, tossed to the belly of oblivion. We were free to exercise, to experience the full potential of our Nigerianness. Our binding lines were unbroken. In ideology, they held us together. In trust, they washed us like water. In truth, they kept us alive. We breathed the full breath of what being citizens should be in a progressive, secular society. So when the day finally arrived, we had hope. We had no doubt in our hearts, in the potion that always questions truth, that our votes must count. But nothing could bolster our belief like the assurances by Mr. President, General Muhammadu Buhari, and the INEC Chairman, Professor Yakubu Mahmood. Recall that a little over a year ago, President Muhammadu Buhari appended his signature to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2022. The fanfare that greeted that amendment can well claim recognition as one of the most colorful in our recent history due to its unbroken allegiance to the Nigerian spirit. On that day, we were neither Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Efik, Fulani, Birom, or any tribe whatsoever. No, we were not Bagi, we were not Ijo. On that day, we were Nigerians full of positive energies of our land. Now, I hate to announce today that in the heart of some, all this has gone to waste. You may have seen the video of the diasporans who tore their passports. Some other Nigerians have done same to the fabric of our identity because INEC, through Professor Yakubu Mahmood, chose to silence their voice. And so we ask, what is the value of democracy if the process that recruits its leaders consistently lacks credibility? Perhaps the answer is at the International Conference Center where Professor Yakubu Mahmood began, sustained and concluded collation and declaration of a candidate as winner of the presidential election based on falsehood, contravening its guidelines and electoral act. It is most disturbing that this was done in the full glare of the world. Never has our democracy been so sorely abused by any citizen in either public or private service. Professor Yakub Mahmoud has raised the bar in impunity that will cost our country many years of electoral excellence to correct. This was not the electronic transmission he promised Nigerians and the world at Chatham House. Professor Yakub Mahmoud has lied to Nigerians and abused our right of choice. And therefore we pass a vote of no confidence and call for his immediate sack and prosecution.
Now, you are about to watch Labour Party spokeslady. She is very intelligent. Her name is Indicator. In fact, I want you to listen from the beginning to the end. This will shed more light into how Labour Party is set to go about this presidential mandate that has been stolen and every other mandate that has been stolen. Like I told you, Labour Party, Peter Obi broke the back of the camel. In fact, pulling out of PDP destroyed PDP, finally nailed it, put it in the coffin and buried it. That is just what it is. And you see, when this happened, APC knew quite well that they will have to struggle. They will have to fight it to finish. Although some of them are saying that Peter Obi helped to decimate PDP, helping APC to win. But don't let us sweat too much. Let us listen to what she has to say.
The Obidients, as they're popularly called, have been alleged to be very intolerant. You heard that Israel's comment.
Yes, I heard that.
So what do you have to say in defense of your people?
I think that there's an attempt right now to paint Obedience with a brush. This is a situation of give a dog a bad name and then hang it, to paint Obedience with a brush. And the truth is, this is a movement that comprises of Nigerians, right? Millions of Nigerians who demand better, who believe in the candidacy of Peter Obi, who know that, look, this man can deliver a better country for us based on his antecedents. So it's not that we just gather together to make noise. And you know, one of the most upsetting things is when people point these fingers at Obedience, they forget that during this campaign season, we have lost a ward woman leader in Southern Kaduna. We have lost a House of Assembly candidate in Imo. We have lost a Senate candidate. We have come under attack. Peter Obi has been stoned, all sorts of things. Even today, Dr. Tape came out, you know, they accused him of declaring religious war. These are things that this candidate has gone through so much. There's something Peter Obi said, that I was a good man till I decided to run for president. That is when everybody decided. And that's the same thing here. Over and over again, Peter Obi has been that one candidate that has told his followers, I don't want you people to be violent. I don't want us to behave in this way. Even after the elections, when people were calling for nationwide protests, he said, no. We are going to test the integrity of the courts as we have tested the integrity of the electoral system. We are going to test the strength of this institution, and that is what we are doing. We're pushing for that. And, you know, a lot of young people, what the Obedient movement has done is to call for a political awakening, and that is what has happened. So the political class and other people who are used to benefiting from this rent-seeking system are not used to being questioned.
That's it.
Are not used to the ordinary man on the street understanding the issues and questioning their every word. When they say 1 + 1 = 3, somebody will stand up to them and say, no, this is not the case. Yes. They are not used to it. And so when they are questioned like this, they start crying bullying and all of that. I mean, we saw what happened in Lagos. We saw the attacks that Obedience came under just to be able to vote. Somebody died in Edo State. Just these are the issues. So when you talk of violence in this campaign season, these are the things. And we have come under so many attacks. We have people who have lost lives.
We totally understand. Yes, unfortunately, some lives were lost in the process, and all of them still remain vivid in our memories. But at the end of the day, the accusation, not just from Dire Israel, but members of other political parties, is that Obedience sometimes can be unruly in terms of, you know, how they look at certain issues. For instance, Peter Obi has said no to protests and all of that, but we're still seeing some vile tweets using the social media space now. And what they're saying is, for the fact that there is already ongoing litigation, shouldn't that actually get everyone to just calm down and wait for the judiciary to do its due diligence? So what would be a reaction to that in terms of, why not, you know, Peter Obi some of them are requesting that he comes out now and say, Obidient, can we calm down with the rhetoric?
But I do think that we're very calm. I think that if you follow the social media conversation, it is people talking about the court cases. It is people talking about, look, this election was flawed. International observers have said the election were flawed. Everybody has said, look, this is it. We need better elections. We need, Peter Obi has said, look, this system, this was flawed. The process was flawed. We are going to court to go and debate this. That is what we are talking about on social media. So again, I will point to, look, when people say unruly, I think and I believe that it is that they are not used to being questioned.
I needed to be very objective about this, because at the end of the day, if you are objective enough, you'll be getting a good opportunity in defense of your people, all right? Because it's not our words, and it's not even Israel's words. The social media is replete with the actions and reactions of the Obidients, as they are called, and sometimes they don't even listen to their candidates. Why don't they listen to the candidates?
Did you see the build-up to the gubernatorial elections and the kind of attacks that people came under in the build-up to the gubernatorial elections? It's quite sad that that has happened. But we're not even having serious conversations around it. Those conversations led to attacks on people. Those are conversations that we should focus on. When you single out people and say, look, you don't belong in these places, if you come out and vote, these are the conversations, because these are the things that led to violence.
Right.
These are the things, not people joking when they attack your car. Somebody came and posted a picture and says it's a lie, it's not your car. People were laughing about it. That did not lead to violence. These conversations have led, we have issues that have led to violence against us. And these are the conversations we should be having.
It is the conversation we're having. And we need to all look at it objectively here, because all of this bullying, we will not blame it only on the Obidients, because the truth is we have seen political parties and even their spokespeople go beyond.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like,
as a media person now who happens to be one of the spokespersons of the Obi Adati campaigns, how would you advise that would draw that line between, having to support your candidate and actually push out whatever you believe should have happened with the election, and hate speech, that line there?
Number one, I want to correct this thing where it is, it's tagged that Obidients are the ones.
I did say it's not synonymous to the Obidients.
So it looks like, it's just Obidients. Yes, unfortunately.
In the country right now.
Unfortunately, things are heated. The political space has become so heated. And it didn't start now. From the 2015 elections, it really got bad when people were reporting people to their bosses to fire them. And it has built up from there. So people, when they come into the political space, people are on the offensive and defensive because they do not want to be the ones on the receiving end of this things. But this is not an Obidients situation that, it's just Obidients that do this. Look, the truth about it is the people who have faced the most consequence for hate speech is Obidients. We have been lynched, all sorts. We are burying people. Badebo Rhodes Vivo is still visiting people. Peter Obi had to visit people after the elections. So when we're talking about the consequences of these things, these are, and you know what? When you talk about us as media people, look, everybody that has been representative of the Obedient movement has been quite sensible with their speech. But you have spokespersons, official spokespersons of other political parties being able to say really, really, really terrible things and get away with it. So terrible that we have a professor in Canada who has had to carry a case to ICC for what a spokesperson of the APC said. So when you talk about these things, look, anybody can wake up today and say Obidients. You played the video of that person. Do you know that as of this evening, Obidients have gone and traced the real name of the person on the flight, where he used to work, where his wife works. She works at the TV station. All of that have brought that, please, police, take. Because when these accusations come now, they will say Obidients. So Obidients about the police, look, we have fed you with every information about this character that did this.
Are you saying he's not an Obedient, the person who was screaming Obidients in the plane?
No.
Are you saying he's not?
Obidients brought it out. No. That's the thing. Anybody can wake up and say, and like I said, we are facing, this is the kind of thing we're facing now.
So that make us understand that sometimes some people, in being objective now, sometimes some other people who are not obedient camouflage as obedient on social media to tarnish the image of the obedience. Is that what you're saying?
And when that happens, like with the case of today, Obidients take their time, go and investigate, bring out the name of the person, because we do not want to be tainted like that. Even with the conversation of the Eze in Lagos, they have brought out this Eze is actually in Isolo. This man has actually shown support for the ruling party. So now why are you painting him with obedient brush?
Well, the video that he released is clear as to
Yes,
what
but
he did.
they have gone back to trace.
Right.
And so what I'm pointing out is, look, there is a concerted effort to paint situation right now when we are waiting for the court case. And literally, our leader has said this. We are going to court. All of us, we are facing court. Okay. We are hoping that it will be shown live on TV so that we follow that process. And right now, while we are trying to face that, we are seeing all sorts of things. Today, they'll say, oh, this group of obedience, that group of obedience.
Well, according to Syndicator, she says the person who tried to hijack that Ibom Air flight is not an obedient. But
no, he's not.
Okay, so let's move beyond that right now. And I want to get your thoughts on the conversations about the fact that there are a group of people who are planning to disrupt the inauguration come May 29, because based on allegations from a statement by APC, actually laying a claim, allegations once again, on the Labour Party and its supporters. And also the fact that we did see your vice presidential candidate, Dati, on a TV station where he talked about the fact that if the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu is sworn in, it's going to be akin to a military takeover.
So the conversation, we've had this conversation about the interim government, and the people who can do interim government are the people in power. It really is not obedient. So no matter what anybody says, there's only certain group of people who can bring in interim government, and it's not us. We're not in power at the moment. So whenever APC, and we have seen this across the campaign season, whenever APC and itself are in battle with themselves, then they start to point fingers. But the only people, and I will say it here again, and you know that the only people who can declare interim government, who can bring in interim government, is Buhari and his government. Definitely not us. We do not hold any apparatus of power to bring in an interim government. So if the DSS is having these conversations and other arms of the APC are having this conversation, it definitely cannot be against obedience, because what power does the Labour Party or Obidients have to bring in interim government?
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Now, what we are seeing is a very, very dirty form of politics. Let me just put it that way, straightforward. There is no way to paint it. Dirty politics, where some individuals will masquerade to be part of a particular party or sympathetic to a particular party, partisan or whatever it is, and they will now pretend, they will now begin to act some movies like what we've just seen, some dramas. You heard what she said. You heard it. Now, when we talk about interim government, coup, d'etat, and many of these that we are hearing, even the DSS also spoke about this. You heard it. Who has the power to plan a coup? Unless you are referring to Obasanjo, which they said Obasanjo and some other people are sitting down together, and they are doing meetings in the middle of the night to discuss on how to hijack and to make sure that Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not get sworn in. In fact, some pastors and prophets already said that they saw in the realm of the spirit that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be arrested on the day of swearing, and Peter Obi will be arrested by the DSS. Now, let us differentiate it. DSS will arrest Peter Obi. The military will pick Bola Ahmed Tinubu, lock him up, and if he's not careful, he's going to lose his life. They said that the next stage, the next step will be for the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to step in. And because he doesn't want to offend Tinubu and he wants to just remove his hands from all of these dirty things, he doesn't want to die in the process, he will just say, you know what, Peter Obi, carry your load. Now you win am. End of story, end of discussion. These are what they say they saw in the spirit. But and the way things are looking, things are looking so bleak. It has now gotten to a point whereby people don't know what to believe in and what not to believe in anymore. But who is this guy? Well, he has been dug deep underground and they have found out more about him. I think this guy will not come out to repeat the show again. He has done the final, he has collected the final money or whatever it is. Maybe he will not be ashamed of himself. Maybe he's going to come out on social media and begin to say, for those who are saying this is a show, this is drama, this is real. It happened. I am a supporter of this and that. I wasn't paid. This is the second time this happened to me. Is it until I'm dead before you people will now realize that this is true? Well, we will be waiting to find out about this source. But what we know right now is this attack on each other. After all, they say somebody has been declared the winner. What is the need for this propaganda? Are they trying to build up a case against Labour Party and Peter Obi? What is the need for this propaganda? Now, what are your thoughts about what you have just seen? You have watched snippets, you've seen from the beginning to the end, you've even listened to Labour Party spokeswoman. She have said it. This man, that claimed that it's Labour Party and many other videos, short clips that we are seeing right, left, and center. And also this propaganda, this talk about Labour Party plotting to, to unseat or to bring in interim government. It's not you that have power that want to bring interim government. And moreover, Labour Party is not even connected to power in any way. Well, we don't know. Maybe they are still referring to Obasanjo, who came out to speak when the elections, according to what we saw, was not going in favor or was not going in the direction of the man that he supported, Peter Obi. We don't know. We don't know who is planning this coup. If it is Obasanjo, then let Obasanjo be dealt with. If Obasanjo is planning a coup or interim government, it is Labour Party is going through a different route. Please don't let us mix bad apples, yes, with the good ones. What are your thoughts about this one? Don't forget to like and share this video. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new here.
I say a very big thank you to those who have taken time to subscribe to this channel. And if you're yet to subscribe, kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red bell icon so you will be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded.